Hey guys, welcome back to Chariot Palmistry. My name is Sulabh Jain, and in this video we're going to be talking about the energy around the world in the month of November. There's a lot we need to cover in this video. Firstly, there's these US elections coming up and a lot of craziness that we think is going to be going on with that. I also want to talk about a new project that I've been working on where we can make specific stock price predictions on different tickers like NVDA. So later on in this video, I'm going to show you guys a roadmap for what I think is going to be happening with the price of NVIDIA over about the next 12 months. So let's jump into this and let's start by talking about the US elections. Now I'll start by bringing up a screenshot of my video on what I believe is going to be happening with the US elections. Now this is a very strange election in that most of the energy is going to be taking place after the actual election itself. And the only one event that's going to be taking place before the election is an assassination attempt on one of the candidates. And that was Donald Trump. Now, what I'm predicting is that there's going to be court problems and legal challenges taking place over about the next 2 weeks. Now, keep in mind, at the time of recording this video, the election is in about 7 days from now. So in the 1 or 2 weeks after that point, we should be expecting court problems and legal challenges to one or both of the candidates here. Also, at the time of making this video, the news came out this morning that there are ballot boxes that are actually being burned in the US. I think it's happened in like 3 different incidences here. So we can see the run up to that prediction kind of coming out here. Now, my next prediction here is that the opinion polls are actually going to be wrong, just like they were wrong in Pakistan's election. And this is a bit of an interesting one here because most opinion polls at the moment show Kamala Harris as the winner here. Her margin of victory is shrinking day by day, but they're still consistently showing her on top. However, if you look at the betting odds for the US election, they consistently show Donald Trump as being the clear winner. And so there's a clear disconnect going on here between what the opinion polls are showing and what the, let's call it the smart money, is saying. You know, when people have their money on the line, they tend to make better decisions than when they're answering surveys with a stranger over the phone. So far, I think that prediction on the opinion polls being wrong, that could well turn out happening, but we won't know that for another week. Now, my next prediction is that this election is actually going to be rigged. Unlike last time where Trump was just saying it was going to be rigged, but then he couldn't prove it. This time, it's going to happen. And again, with these 3 ballot boxes being burnt already in the US, someone's taking steps to rig the election in some way. But I think it's going to be on a much, much bigger phase here. So that's the first thing I want to say about the elections. The other thing to talk about is Elon Musk and his involvement in these elections. He's recently come out as being a very pro-Trump supporter and is actually giving away $1 million to anyone who registers to vote for Donald Trump. Now, I'm going to put up a screenshot of my video on Elon Musk that I put out a while ago. And you can see over here, one of my predictions was that his personal downfall will begin in April of 2025. Now, I think this prediction is on the verge of coming true as well because, according to many people in the US, you can't bribe people to vote for someone, or you can't have like a contest in that sense. So I can see some drama or chaos happening for him in April of next year. Let's just watch his space. So that's really all I have to say about the election. Let's talk about the predictions over November. And before we do that, let's do what we always do and review my predictions over the month of October. Now, October was a bit of a hit and miss month for me. I started by predicting that the gold price will fall. That did not take place. Predicted the Bitcoin price would rise, and that actually went up by about 15 or so %. I predicted the VIX would rise, and that went up a fair bit, around about 20%. And I also predicted that the oil price will fall. And that was kind of a so-so prediction. You see, the oil price went up about 10 or 15%, and then it went down 10 or 15%. So it ended the month even, and I'm putting a cross next to that. So for those of you following my track record so far this year, that puts me at 24 correct predictions out of 36. So that's the review of the October predictions. Let's talk about November now. And the first thing I'm going to do in the November predictions is make the prediction that the price of NVDA is going to be going up from the middle of this month onwards. Now, to explain this prediction, I've been involved in a team that's working on a project that's using a combination of astrology and AI to make stock market predictions. We've just launched our software, which we call roadvi.ai. It's like the roadmap to help you guide your life. So I'm going to pull up a screenshot of what we do over here. And so this is the roadmap for NVIDIA over 2024. And what you're going to notice in the middle over here, of course, is the year, and then each section down here represents a different month of the year. On the left-hand side, we've got different planetary transits that are going on. And the way this works is that each planetary transit is going to affect the price in one of three ways. Either it goes green, which means the price goes up, or it turns red, which means it'll bring the price down, or it'll turn yellow, meaning it will bring the price up again. Now, right now we're at the end of October, coming into November, and what you're going to notice is over November and more so into December, there's a lot of greens taking place over here. Now, if we click on one of these transits over here, what you're going to notice is it'll come up with two different date ranges. Over here, it's November 17 to November 18. And what that means is that the energy with the particular transit that we think is going to take place will start on this day, and the intensity of it is going to increase until we get to the 7th of January over here. Now, on the left-hand side of the scale here is something called a value, and you'll notice it goes from -2 all the way up to 0. That's basically an orb calculation, meaning a planet is -2 degrees away, and as it gets closer to conjunction with a different planet, that's what this value is all about. The scale basically goes up at that point. But it's between November 18 to January the 7th that we should get the best results from this particular stock. And that's why NVIDIA is listed as dark green just in here. Then you'll notice after that, there's a few other transits that take place that go from light green into dark green. By the way, I should explain that scale. Light green means good energy, dark green means great energy. And so looking back at this transit, you'll notice for most of 2024, NVIDIA had a lot of greens and dark greens taking place, which means this stock was basically on a rocket ship upwards. There was only one negative transit that took place twice this year, so we can generally ignore some of that. Now, it's all well and good to say that we're predicting this price will move upwards. Let's actually have a look at what happened last time, like the last time this particular transit took place, to see if this actually works or not. So we'll have a look at this one over here. You see it starts on March the 21st and it gets sort of lukewarm up until June 24th. And then it shoots into dark green from June 24th to July the 9th. And what we have on the screen right now are two different charts. At the bottom is the orb value that we were talking about before. But then in this region over here, we've got the actual stock price as well. Now, if we look at March 21st, that would be just at about this point here. It carried on to June the 24th, which should be around about this point just over there. Now, after this point, when it turns dark green, it shoots straight up until July the 9th, which is approximately that period over there. And you can see the increased intensity taking place on this date here. So this whole move upwards, this tool, the Rudraology Roadmap VI, picked it to within about 2 to 3 days of the actual move itself. So this is the basic gist of what this tool can do. We can predict through planetary transits when specific moves are going to go up. And not only can we do it for NVIDIA, you can do it for a host of other stocks as well. You know, for gold, Tesla, Apple, Amazon. We can even do it for some cryptos like Bitcoin and a range of other ones, which we hope to add to the system in the months to come. Now, if you guys do want to support us in this, you can create a free account on Roadmap Vision at RoadVI, that's ROADVI.ai. You can create a free account using Google and you can get historical data on gold. But if you want to get some of these stock predictions for the future, they come in at a very reasonable price of only $100 for 3 different stocks. You can get our unlimited suite for $1,299. And in doing so, you can support us a little bit in the work that we're doing. So that's the first prediction, that the price of NVDA should be going up from the middle of this month onwards. My next prediction is that there will be a gold price rise taking place from the middle of the month onwards. I'm also expecting the price of Bitcoin to continue rising throughout the entire month. There should also be a stock market rise taking place, again from the middle of this month onwards. Now keep in mind, guys, I'm expecting chaos in the United States in the aftermath of this election. So some of these predictions seem to be at odds with some of my other predictions, but I'm going to hold on to both of them and just put them out there to the world. That's it for this video, guys. If you do have any questions, put them in the comment section below. Thanks a lot.